Hi everyone, my name is Natalie Ikker and I'm the Undergraduate Student Affairs Advisor for the Department of Political Science at UC San Diego. So although you can't see them, I have a few people helping me today, and their names are Ariane Parks, who's the Student Affairs Manager for the department, as well as Joanna Peralta, who's the Student Services Coordinator and OSD Liaison for the department. So we're really excited to have you all here today. Even though we can't see you, we will be interacting with you all through the Q&A function. I will be pausing a few times during the presentation to see what questions people have. But definitely know that this presentation will be on our department page, both in a video format as well as in a PDF format. So don't feel like you need to rush, take notes, or anything like that. And with that said, just wanting to keep in mind that this session will be recorded. And that link right there is where you will be able to find the video afterwards. And yeah, so we will jump right in. So as far as our presentation today, this is just a quick outline of what we're going to be covering. So the academic curriculum, opportunities in the department, the campus opportunities for your major requirements, careers in graduate school, because you all will be eventually graduating from UCSD, talking about the faculty and how excellent they are both in and out of the classroom environment, student involvement and support opportunities, what the advising structure at UC San Diego is, because it is pretty different from a lot of the universities nearby, as well as a conclusion and just some more time for Q&A. So we're going to start off with the subfields in the department. So our department has a number of classes that we offer, and each of those classes falls under a different subfield in our department. So you can see that there's American politics, comparative politics, international relations, political theory, things like that. And as far as the subfields, this is a bit of a description about what they are. And so you can see that each of our subfields covers something a little bit different. Sorry, I went ahead of myself. Covers a little bit different aspects of political science. So we have American politics, comparative politics, data analytics, international relations, political theory, public law, and public policy. So you have the option to take classes in all of these subfields if you so choose to, or you're going to be able to concentrate in one of these fields as well. And I'll cover that a little bit later. Something that students often ask me about as an advisor is the difference between public policy and public law. So just knowing that policies are the objectives that a government has for itself to achieve in certain periods of time. So for example, policies concerning the environment or healthcare, things like that, those usually have a set date in mind or year, while the laws are the tools that help a government achieve these objectives. So making sure that when people say that they want to cut admissions by a certain year, what laws do they need to follow in order to make that happen? And then in the department, we have 8 different majors. So you can see them listed right there. All of them are great majors, and they offer students a variety of opportunities to take our courses and get involved in the department. You just need to figure out what works best for you. And so as far as what these majors constitute, you can find that information on our department website. And what Joanna is doing right now in the chat is sending you all links to our department pages as I'm moving through this presentation, just to make it easier for you all to do some research on your own and to see what works best. So another big question that I often get from students is, what's the difference between our department versus another program on campus, which is the International Studies program? So you can see that I've created a table right here that kind of compares and contrasts the two. I do just want to point out that we do offer different programs, different courses between the departments. And a few things to know especially is that our majors, the political science majors, are not interdisciplinary, which means that all of the classes you take for our majors are political science courses. For the International Studies program, their majors are interdisciplinary. So what that means is you're going to be taking classes that might have to do with international studies, maybe a little bit with political science, and with a few other subjects as well. So that's just something to note to see if either program might be a better fit for you. Another big component is the language aspect. So in our department, we don't require that students have or meet a language requirement, but the International Studies program does. We have about the same majors, but of course, the International Studies program offers a few different majors than ours and concentrations. So again, it's going to be up to you to think about which one works best for you. Now, I know a lot of y'all are really excited to start at UCSD and are wondering what classes you have, what you need to take, and when will it be offered. So the good thing is our department's pretty awesome about putting out a tentative course schedule for the next academic year. We already have it on our website, so you're going to be able to see what classes we hope to offer in the fall, in the winter, and in the spring. So department opportunities that we have. So like I said, we do have a lot of classes. We add quite a few classes every single year. And I believe in the past 5 or so years, we've added about 40 to 45 new classes. So we're really excited to have these classes that are exciting to teach, but then also exciting for students to learn about. So we try and have classes that are relevant to what's happening today and really pertinent to what's going on in the field of political science. As far as connecting with your peers and faculty, there are multiple opportunities for that as well. One thing that we do have every quarter, and even now that we are doing a virtual spring quarter, are professional development workshops. So I connect with one of our professors, Maureen Feely, to put on these workshops for our students. You can see some examples that I've written there, but a lot of these workshops are ones that focus on opportunities students can get involved in during their time, even transfer students, as well as what you can do in the department. So we also have the Alumni Mentor Program. This is a program that just ended its 3rd year. So we're definitely going to bring it back for next year. And every year I ask for feedback from both the students and the alumni in the program to see how it can be made even better. So with this one, you as transfer students can definitely partake, and you would be connected with a career track mentor as well as an exploratory track mentor. So this allows you to really be connected with an alumni from our program and talk to them and just see how their experiences have been in the work field, in graduate school, or even as a student at UCSD. So we do have those requirements you'll see at the bottom of a 3.5 major GPA and earning at least 90 units. So as a transfer student, don't worry about that too much. This program does start in the winter, so by the time winter comes around, you will have a political science GPA. So we have research opportunities in the department as well. Most popular program is the Research Apprenticeship Program. So this is where students work underneath the guidance of graduate students in our department. So for those who don't know, we actually have a PhD program as well. So this is a really neat way to get hands-on research as well as connect with our graduate students. So some of the graduate students will be your TA in courses, but this is a deeper opportunity to get to know them and really build your research skills, which are very valued in the workplace as well as graduate programs. So this program is a winter and spring program. You would commit 12 hours a week as a research apprentice, and you would be able to earn major credit. So just a foreshadowing, that's just something that's consistent with almost all of our programs in the department, is that you are able to earn credit for your major. Personally, I think this is wonderful because it allows students to not fall behind in their studies and still have the opportunity to take advantage of everything that we have to offer. And then in the spring quarter, if you continue with this program, You can still serve as a research apprentice, but you also have the opportunity to take on another challenge of writing a research paper with that graduate student. So this can help you develop your writing skills, your analysis skills. And again, this can be something that you could use in the future when you do apply for maybe particular career paths or graduate programs. We also have the independent research class in our department. So this is where you as a student would reach out to certain faculty in our department and help them with their research. You, again, are able to get credit towards your major. And a lot of students who pursue this opportunity find that it's a really valuable way to, again, get those research skills, but then also have a really fruitful connection with the faculty in our department. We also have the Senior Honors Program. So as transfer students, you would be doing this in your very last year. This is a 2-quarter sequence, so it's a fall and winter program in which you would be writing an honors thesis. And so for this program, it is very rigorous. We do ask our students to have a very high GPA for the program, have completed our lower division courses and at least 5 of our upper division courses, as well as being recommended by faculty to participate. But all the students that have gone through this program have found it incredibly valuable and have gained a lot of confidence in their writing and research abilities. And again, just who we are as a department, we like to be transparent and help our students. So as you can see on the slide right there, you're more than welcome to view any of the theses that have earned a level of honors or higher on our department page within the Senior Honors Program section. So in a few weeks, I will be posting those that earned honors this year. So feel free to check back. We also have the local internship research program. So this is where students in our department are able to partake in an internship locally for 1 quarter and get credit towards the units they need to graduate from UCSD. And then in the 2nd quarter, they partake in a research project or a paper underneath the guidance of one of our faculty members. And then with that one, they are able to get credit towards their major. So again, another wonderful opportunity to get involved with our department as well as the local community. So here are some examples of recent internships. But of course, many internships exist, and I always welcome students that if they have a possible internship to connect with the faculty member that is in charge of the program. Now, before I move on to campus opportunities for your major requirements, does anyone have any questions that they would like to ask right now in the Q&A? I'll give a few seconds. All right, I don't see any questions coming in, but I'm going to look at what people have submitted previously. And so the first question is, for upper division courses, do TAs teach those as well? Some of our graduate student TAs do teach upper division courses, but the vast majority are taught by our professors. The next question is, for the alumni program, how often do students get to work with a mentor in the top field that they want? So for the alumni program, what I do is I share with students what the fields are and I ask them to rank them. So for the career track, I do my very best to match a student with their top 3 choices. And then for the exploratory track, I do within their top 5. So more than likely, you're going to be able to connect with an alumni in the field that you're really wanting to do. But, you know, I just remind students to be open, because even if it's not necessarily the career you're hoping to learn more about, it could be a really great opportunity to solidify that it's a career you don't want to do. You can also ask them questions about their time at UCSD too, and it can still be a fruitful mentee-mentor relationship. The next question is, for classes that may be offered in the fall, were they chosen because they can work well for remote learning? No, these courses were chosen because that's what the faculty wanted to teach. So these were not adjusted to be in line with their remote learning. All right, and then so as far as the questions that are coming in, one of them is that I noticed while there's no language requirement for the department, there is one for ERC. So ERC is Eleanor Roosevelt College, which is one of the 7 colleges we have at UCSD. Where could I ask for more information about courses I need to take from my college? So you would ask your college advisor those questions. You would be able to do that through email right now. And then in about a month or so, when our virtual advising center, which is a really unique feature for UCSD, opens up for transfer students, you can ask them questions directly. Someone asked for the link for this video. I will share that at the end, don't worry. Because someone said, you didn't take an IR class at community college. Don't worry, we do have international relations courses in our department as well. A few people asked about if they still need to take certain classes once they get here. And with that, I would save those questions for when you have access to the virtual advising center, as well as when your transcripts are finalized and sent so that we can advise you accurately. Another person asked, how large is the class size of upper division courses? So they do vary. Some courses are as small as 14 or 15 people. Some are about 50 people. Others are between like 75 to 125. Our largest is a 475 person class, but that is the minority. So most of our courses are about 150 students or less. All right. And then it looks like I will be covering most of these later. But before I move on, there's just one more question. And it's for the political science IR major. The area of concentration has a few IR courses and then 7 general poli-sci courses. Could I just take 7 more international relations courses for the electives? Yes. So for the IR major, you have your 5 courses for the concentration specifically, but you're more than welcome to take more IR classes for your electives. All right, so moving on, I'm going to focus on campus opportunities for major requirements. Let's see. All right, so the first one is the UCDC and UC Center Sacramento program. So both of these programs are super popular with political science students because you are able to go to either Washington, DC for a quarter or Sacramento for a quarter. You have an internship there and you take classes there as well. So for a political science major, this is almost like your bread and butter, especially if you want to go into politics, or even if politics is not something you want to do, but getting experience at these political hubs, so to say, and having internships is a really, really great way to build your career knowledge, have some networking opportunities, meet peers across the UC system, and perhaps even have a job offer after graduation. I know many students that partake in these programs, and by the end of it, their supervisor it has a job offer for them. So it's really great. Students also take political science classes when they take part in these opportunities. And again, like I've shared before, these courses do count towards your major requirements in your upper division elective category. So again, another great way to stay on track with your major requirements and be on track in terms of graduation, but also get an amazing opportunity under your belt. Study abroad is another very popular option for students, even transfer students too. Again, same with UCDC and UC Center Sacramento. So for study abroad, the great thing with political science is that it exists pretty much everywhere in the world. And so you're going to be able to go to so many different countries that you'd like to go to. You're going to be able to take a variety of classes, not even just political science courses, but of course, that is what a lot of political science students take when they are abroad. And these courses, again, go towards your major requirements, as long as they fit a few eligibility requirements, but that's just them being upper division courses, political science courses, 4 or more quarter units in worth, and you earning a C- or better. So those are very similar expectations that we have of our students at UCSD. So again, it's nothing extra on your shoulders. Of course, with both of these programs, one of the things for transfer students is that it is difficult sometimes to do both of these just because of the length of time that you're here. But just keep in mind that both the Study Abroad office and the office that coordinates the UCDC and UC Center Sacramento program, which is the academic internship program, they are open during the summer, and they're totally welcome to taking students that are coming into UCSD, answering their questions and helping them get prepped and get started for these opportunities. So we have careers and graduate schools. So at some point you all will be graduating from UCSD, and maybe one of those options is grad school, but for many of you, it will be jumping right into a career. So something I really just want to emphasize is that your major is not boxing you into a particular career. So I do meet with a lot of students who have this worry that because they are not majoring in something that is maybe science, technology, engineering, or math, that they don't have a lot of the same opportunities as their peers. Quite frankly, that's not really the case. With political science, you can partake in a lot of careers and graduate school programs. It really just comes down to your attributes as a person and what you take part in, both academically and in your non-academic lives. So when I see students in which they are just going to class and then they're doing their homework and earning good grades, that's wonderful, but a lot of employers want to see something more. So really partaking in an on-campus job or off-campus job, maybe a volunteer opportunity, or an internship or two, or having a student leadership position in a club, or really anything else that diversifies your experience as a student is really going to set you apart. So just keep that in mind, because it's something that I know weighs heavy on a lot of students, especially as it gets closer to graduation. So just know that you are getting very great transferable skills as a political science major, not just in the knowledge you're getting in the classroom, but also what you involve yourself in outside of the classroom. So the Career Center on campus, and their job is definitely to help you prepare for the world of work. They have resume review workshops, even virtually. They help you practice for internships. They help you find jobs, opportunities, internships, so on and so forth. And I personally communicate with quite a few of the counselors over there, and they're all really nice and helpful. And if anything, they just wish that students would meet with them sooner and more often than they currently do. So as far as career resources for political science students, again, I shared the Career Services Center, so definitely keep that as your top priority. The Alumni Mentor Program that I shared earlier is another great way for you all to learn more about what the world of work looks like for a political science graduate. For those of you who are interested in the field of law, we have our board of pre-law advisors. So those are current graduate students in our department who have actually gone to law school. They've graduated law school and have practiced law before becoming PhD students in our department. So they are a really great resource for you to ask questions and really get the nitty-gritty of what law school is like. I know a few of them, and they're really honest, and they're always willing to help students. And sometimes when we have law events, which I'll talk about in a little bit, these graduate students also take part and help answer questions as well. We also have a handbook. It's called the APSA Careers in Political Science Handbook that I give out to students. Now, of course, that's when we are operating on an in-person basis, but Even virtually, I've set up our career and graduate school page on our website with a ton of resources for students. And then that's even open to you all, even though you're not officially enrolled in any classes yet. Here's some career information for you all. Again, just to support what I've been saying before as far as what you can expect as a graduate within the fields of political science. Just know that, when you graduate, there might still be a few years in which you're working until you can get to certain wages or income levels, and just really figure out what works best for you. So you're going to get different advice, whether you're a student who might have a few more restrictions to work with versus a student who's open to taking a job anywhere in the world in a variety of sectors. And then here is a short list of people who have graduated from our program in their careers. Again, this constitutes a wide range of options for our students, and this list is growing every year. Just again, something to know as you're looking at these folks' career titles is that a lot of these people have had to work a number of years in order to get to where they're at. So some of these may not be the first job you get right after you graduate, but that's okay. It's still something you can work towards and have as a goal. All right, so before I jump into the Krinsk-Houston Law and Politics Initiative, I'm just going to take a look at the Q&A once more to see what people have been asking. Okay, so are the political science classes offered online? So right now in the spring quarter, our classes are online. In the summer session, all of our classes will be online as well. Right now in the fall, the vast majority of our classes are planned to be online. Some may be in person, but we are going to be updating that situation as time progresses. So definitely be on the lookout for emails, either from our department or from the university regarding the status of classes in the fall. Someone asked, is UCDC offered in the summer quarter? Yes, it is. That's a really great question. It is offered in the summer. However, political science students are not advised to take it during the summer if part of their intention is to get credit towards the major, because you aren't taking the same courses or unit load as you would during the academic year. That's not to say you shouldn't take it in the summer. It's just for most students, they want to get that credit towards their major, so the summer isn't the best option. Are there State Department opportunities for internships? Yes, definitely there are lots of opportunities for internships. On our department page, actually, I've worked with our student assistant to put together a list of places that often have political science internships. So definitely take a look at that when you have the time. Is it difficult to study abroad as a transfer student? No, but with that in mind, you need to start as early as possible. So that means connecting with our study abroad office in the summer or by fall, and working with them to determine when's the best time to study abroad, where you want to go, for how long, and what classes you'll be taking. So that conversation you'll mostly be having with an advisor over there, but you'll also be having that with me so that I can tell you how many classes you can take abroad and in what categories you would fulfill those classes. But definitely give it a go. It's a really great opportunity and it's feasible for transfer students. Is there a political science space on campus? If so, where is it? So hopefully I'm understanding your question correctly, but as far as department space, we don't have like a student lounge or a political science student lounge or space like that. But if you are involved in campus programming, so like a student organization or associated students, things like that, then you are able to reserve spaces as a student org and have meetings with your peers or like the Political Science Student Association and meet people that way. how do you get involved in the alumni mentorship program? So I did cover that earlier, but it is an application process that I send out in the winter quarter. And someone asked, do you have to have the 5 upper division courses done to ask a a faculty member to be your advisor for the honors thesis? So you don't need to have completed it by the time you ask them. It's just you need to have completed those 5 upper division courses by the time the program starts in the fall of your senior year. And again, all of the eligibility requirements are on our website on that page for the Senior Honors Program. So hopefully that clarifies it as well. Where does the Political Science Club meet? They meet different locations when we are not operating virtually. Mostly they just reserve a space in the library or in one of the rooms in our student unions. The next question I'll be answering is, are you able to double major as a political science student at UCSD? Oh yes, definitely. I feel like every week I get at least 1 or more double major petitions from my students. And so it's a really great way to gain a lot of knowledge of different subjects that you're interested in, especially as a career. So I would say the most common double majors we get are within the social sciences. So that's history, sociology, communication, anthropology, economics. And I've also seen double majors with dance, engineering, bio. So a lot of different student interests, and it's always nice to see students pursuing those. So I'm going to be moving on with the presentation and then checking in with questions in a little bit. So with the Krinsk-Houston Law and Politics Initiative, this is for those students who are interested in the legal field or law school, although it is completely open and free to all of our political science students. So this is an initiative that has provided opportunities for students to go to workshops or visit universities that have law schools and to take part in our public law courses. So this is a really great initiative to really get that deeper understanding of what the legal field is like, the expectations for students in law school, and how to be a student that is really in line with what the profession expects of its employees. Sorry, my PowerPoint is freezing a bit. Let's try that. All right, so moving on to the department workshops and events. So this is a list of all of the events that we have had in this academic year. So there's a lot of them. And I'm always welcome to any suggestions that students have. Every year I ask our students to provide some input of what they want to see in the next year. So a few of the things that students suggested are on the right. But again, just let me know what you want to see and I'll see if I can make it happen because these workshops and events are for you all. So I just want to make sure that we are covering things that you're interested in. So excellence in and out of the classroom. So this is focusing on the faculty in our department. The faculty are really great and they have a lot of different political interests for their careers and for their research. So I've just highlighted 4 of them right here. Tom Wong, Molly Roberts, Thad Kauser, and Marissa Abrahano. Thad Kauser is also the department chair for our department, but all of these professors and the rest of them that I haven't listed are really great points of contact for you to learn more about the field. They all have office hours and they are all more than willing to speak to students about opportunities, about class expectations, and really just being a really great political science student in the classroom, and then when you graduate, being a really great individual that represents the field. So definitely keep those folks in mind and take advantage of office hours. I know as transfer students, sometimes it's a little less intimidating coming or having classes at the community college where classes might be, oh, I don't know, maybe 30 to 50 students, and now you're going into much bigger classrooms. But if you put yourself out there and connect with your faculty members, they will remember you and they will want to speak with you and help you. Just communicate. I think that's just the biggest piece of advice I can give, is just communicate, communicate, communicate. Because it's really hard for myself as an advisor to help you, or the faculty to help you as well, if we don't know what's going on. So just keep that in mind. So some of our rankings, we are pretty awesome as a department, if I do say so myself, but of course UCSD is equally awesome as well. So just keep that in mind. We have, again, many faculty who come from outstanding programs themselves and outstanding institutions, and choose to stay here, stay with us, and teach our students, both at the undergraduate and graduate levels. So I think that's a really great testament to what we offer our students and really what you are learning in the classroom and the opportunities you can get outside of the classroom as well. So student involvement and support. So again, even as transfer students, your time here is a little bit shorter than freshmen, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't get involved or feel like you aren't supported, because we want you to really be part of our department and be part of the university. So our most popular student organization is the Political Science Student Association. This is for any and all students majoring in political science. They're a good group of students and try and have social opportunities every quarter, meetings every quarter, whether that is virtual right now or in person when it is feasible. There's also student organizations like Mock Trial, Model UN. There's the Prospect Journal. So if you're a really great writer, definitely consider writing for a journal. It's a really great way to expand on your skills and show employers and graduate programs what you can accomplish. We also have the Journal of International Affairs at UCSD. There is the Kappa Alpha Pi fraternity for pre-law at UCSD as well. And then in the middle, you'll see that we have the Pi Sigma Alpha National Political Science Honor Society. So this is for all of our students. You just need to fit our eligibility requirements in order to qualify. So I put out a call every quarter in the beginning asking students to apply, and then I verify with their records and then let them know if they do qualify or not. But this is a really great way to connect with other political science students across the US and really take advantage of career resources and opportunities to expand your knowledge of political science. So transitioning to UCSD, for a lot of students, the biggest issue that I see is the quarter system. So I was also a transfer student. I went from a community college to UC school. And I know that going from 16, 17 weeks of classes to 10 weeks is a bit jarring, but it's definitely possible and you can definitely succeed. You just might need to change up your study habits when you're studying, how much you're studying, and really navigating what works best for you. But outside of that matter, we have the Student Success Coaching Program at UCSD. So this connects you with a success coach within your college to really make sure you have the resources available for your success. We have the Analytical Writing Program. So as a political science student, you will be writing a lot if you haven't already done so in your classes in community college. So this is a great way to really build up your skills and just make sure you're on the right track. We have the Academic Achievement Hub. So this is where they offer tutoring, supplemental instruction, and teaching students how to learn. So definitely keep that in mind. There's Oasis, which again is very similar, offering tutoring opportunities, mentoring opportunities, transitional programs. general counseling for students, especially those who are underrepresented in higher education or are underserved. There is the Office of Students with Disabilities. So for those of you that do have a disability, please keep this office in mind and connect with them as soon as possible to make sure that you have your accommodations in place before you start at UCSD. Every department has an OSD liaison. So for our department, it is Joanna Peralta. She is wonderful and super organized at making sure that our political science students know what their accommodations are and that those accommodations are given to them by the faculty for the exams that are held every quarter. So you all will become very familiar with her down the line. Then we have the Counseling and Psychological Services unit on campus. So just making sure that you all are doing well, both mentally, physically, emotionally, psychologically, and that if there are any issues that come up, you are able to get the support you need, whether that's in person or virtually. All right, and something I'm really excited to talk about is the Triton Transfer Hub. So this is brand new to UC San Diego. This opened to students last year. So this is just for you all, just for transfer students, a space to really come together, meet other transfer students, again, even virtually. They have a ton of workshops, open office hours, and ways to really just to get to know your transfer student community. The manager of the program, Jackie, she's also really nice and a huge advocate for transfer students. We recently had a workshop for transfer students and really just making sure that they know what to expect in their second years. So I see that continuing down the line. And again, like I shared, I was a transfer student as well. So this is something that is pretty near and dear to my heart, and I'm excited to see it continue. All right, the advising structure at UCSD. So at the community college level, I know that lots of students went to just a general counselor to get information on how their courses are going to be applied when they transfer. But here at UCSD, we actually have a multi-tiered structure. So I would be your department advisor. So any questions you had about your political science major or the opportunities in the department, you would ask me. And then any questions you had about your college requirements or university requirements, you would actually ask your college advisor, or your college advising team. So for example, if you were a student at John Muir College and you had a question about their general education courses, maybe you needed to complete one, you would ask them versus asking us. And then if you had questions about what political science courses to take to complete your major requirements, you would ask me versus asking them. So that's just something to keep in mind. We do have a resource on our academic advising page on who to ask what and when, but don't worry if you make a mistake and ask your college advisor something that should have been sent to me or vice versa. With that virtual advising tool that I shared with you all, we can send those questions to the right unit. So don't worry about that. As far as advising in the summer, so right now it is going to be virtual advising. Hopefully within the next month or month and a half, you all as transfer students will have access to virtual advising. So you're going to be able to start asking questions there. Something to, keep in mind is that your transcripts are still being evaluated by the Office of Admissions and will continue to be evaluated throughout the summer. So if you have specific questions on how many classes you still need to take, we might not be able to give you an exact answer because we don't know how many courses you took at community college just quite yet. But we are going to be able to offer you insight on the courses you would take for a particular major, for example, in the concentration, or where you might fit in certain classes based on the department opportunities you want to take advantage of. So that's pretty much the end of our presentation, but before we head out, I will take a look at the Q&A tab once more, just to answer anyone's questions coming through. So one question is, are students able to participate in the mentorship program and the Krinsk Law program? Yes, totally. You are definitely able to partake in both, and I highly recommend it. Any mentoring opportunities and academic programs you're able to take advantage of, do so. Will you be available for questions via virtual advising? Yes, again, like I said, the virtual advising center will open up for transfer students in about a month or month and a half, but you all can email me. I will have Joanna type in my email in the chat, and I can answer any questions you have for me, but I do ask that you review our website or this video once more before you ask any questions. So I just want to tailor it to your experience. How many internships are transfer students able to participate in? Oh, I mean, as many as you want to do. I would not put a limit on that. See how much you can get involved in, but just keep in mind that you are students as well. So make time for your studies too. Who would we contact to join an EOP program? So Educational Opportunities Program. So with that one, I recommend you sending me an email, and then I could see who your best point of contact would be. All right. Do you happen to know how often political science students are chosen to participate in the McNair Scholars Program? So I remember this question from when you submitted this on the RSVP site, so I'm glad to see it again. I did ask the individual who partakes or who coordinates the program, and they said it's about 1 to 2 political science students per year. So let's see. Are there additional resources for first-generation college students within the political science department? So as far as first-generation college student-specific programs, right now we don't have any to serve that specific populations, but we do have a first-generation, like a program, a resource center on campus. So again, if you have trouble finding that information, just send me an email and I'll connect you to who you would need to talk to. How many students are accepted in the UCDC program a year? I would say every quarter, it's about 15 to 25 students are able to participate in the UCDC program each quarter. So that can equate to about 60 to 75 students. It's a really great program. Again, if you need someone to get in contact with, just send me an email and I can send you her information. I saw that there was a pre-law fraternity. Is there something for women? So I apologize for not clarifying this earlier, but the fraternity is open to folks of all genders. So it's not specifically for those who are male. All right, let's take a look at some other ones. Okay, I see one that says, oh man, what sets UCSD's political science program apart from the other UC schools? So one of those aspects is that we actually have a bachelor's of science major. So that's the political science data analytics major. We just started it in fall 2018. We've really expanded our classes for that program, and it was the first Bachelor's of Science political science program in the UC system. So we are really proud of that. I would say we also have some really great department programs that I personally coordinate many of them, and so I can attest to how great they are. But I see it as the political science students in our department have a wide variety of options to take part in, both academically and programmatically. And those students who participate in those programs are the ones that really thrive at UCSD and within our department. And with that, I would say that sets us apart from the rest. No, we might not be close to the Capitol like Davis, you know, or maybe in rankings we might be lower than Berkeley or UCLA, but just keep in mind what you would like to get out of a university. And if that's rankings, that's definitely important. But, you know, I can share that a lot of our students, when they leave, they are happy about their time with us, both personally and academically. They always talk about the amazing faculty that they get to interact with, the research opportunities that they take part in, the internship opportunities, the classes they take, so on and so forth. And so that's just something to keep in mind. Every school is different, and every UC school is great in its own right. But you really just got to think about what works for you, as well as the responsibilities you need to attend to, because while you are a student, you're more than just a student. And so if you are encountering some limitations to being as successful, you know, wherever you're at, you need to think about how you can really thrive as a student and in your own personal life. So hopefully that answered that question. Let me see if a few more came through. All right. Okay, when do you suggest transfer students participate in the UCDC program? So I believe as a transfer student, you do need to have at least a UC GPA. So you can't go your first quarter, but I believe spring quarter of your first year is the very soonest you could go. Again, a lot of that comes from meeting with the coordinator of the program as early as possible to see what you need for the application. Like I believe letters of rec are part of that. So that's why those faculty relationships are really important. Yeah, so that's the earliest you can go, but I have students go the spring quarter of their first year, and then sometimes in the summer if that works for you, and then all throughout their last year as well. So you can definitely participate as a transfer student. Is the UC Sacramento program as equally sought after as the UCDC program? So the UC Center Sacramento program does have less students participate in it, not because it's less than, it's just a different program. So the UC Sacramento program, you would be having an internship while living and taking classes in Sacramento. It is more policy based, so that's something to keep in mind if you are interested in like California politics or the realm of public policy. The Sacramento program might be more pertinent to you. I will say the students who I talked to who've partaken in the Sacramento program, it sounds like their internships are a little bit more in depth than the UCDC program, just from what I've heard, but that might be because there are less of them, and so they are able to get a few more opportunities under their belt as an intern. But that's not to say the UCDC program is any worse. They're both great, but for different purposes. All right, how do we request to double major? So with that one, it's just a petition process. So you fill out a form that shows what classes you take for both majors. You include a personal statement, and then you have those documents signed off by both of the major advisors, and you also include an academic plan, and then you send it to your college. But there is a website on UCSD's page that goes all through it. So if you can't find it, again, let me know and I'll tell you where it is. All right, so someone mentioned the double major, but can we minor in the same department? So for us, you can't have a minor in the same department that you're majoring in. You also cannot double major within the same department. All right, answered that question. All right, are there any requirements for the study abroad programs, and when would be the best time to attend those? Yeah, every study abroad program has different requirements. I just recommend you speak or write to a study abroad advisor, because they're going to be your best point of contact in figuring out what those requirements are, because it depends on where you want to go and when, and then how you can meet those requirements. Sometimes there's a language requirement, but mostly the requirements I see are having a certain GPA and maybe being having a certain number of units and maybe taking a class or two underneath your belt that aligns with some of the classes you take abroad. Does the pre-law classes work with the Warren Law and Society minor? Some of them do overlap. Yes, for sure. For a double major, could you not do a double major in international relations and American politics? This is correct. You can't double major within the same department. But again, that elective component exists. So while you can't double major, you can certainly take classes in both subfields. All right, so I do want to be mindful of time, so I'm going to stop answering questions. But if you all have any more, you can definitely find my information online or look and see where Joanna posted it in the chat, and I'll be happy to answer them. So thank you all for your time, and we hope to see you in September, whether that's virtually or in person. We don't know what it'll be, but we are excited for you all to join us, and thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.